Yes. I was gonna text you that. Okay, very good. Okay, so she just sent me last I heard, and I was like, okay, there's still waiting. Second year. Then we share. So we're not necessarily. Yes. So keep it on that 3-year cycle. Right. But start early. Yeah. It is. She did. Yeah. No, I'm glad she. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. As long as our department. We have others. There was. Outside of Cambridge. We went to Disney on Ice. Who did we go with? She knows. And she knows the other one. Oh. There was Beauty and the Beast part. She was really talking. But she literally was like, why is that? Okay. She came down and asked me if that was a real person. And Brandy was like, I figured you would know. Yeah, I never know how other people are gonna parents. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know better than most. Yeah. It's good. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey there, random question. Uh-huh.
Good evening, Dr. Moore.
Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Grateful. Hello, how are you? How are you? Missed you the other day. It was. Yeah. Yeah, here.
Oh, nice.
You can have this. I know it's gonna happen. Thank you so much. Take all of it with you. You can have all. You're welcome. I know you do. It's the kind of person you are.
Look kind of still. How much is that? Pastor will loves me.
No, I do not.
Oh, you It's here.
We would have done better. We're just trying to figure out how to put another man on the moon.
Go ahead.
Oh, we cooked the gold.
We're just putting them men on the moon.
We just cooked the gold. Thank you, whoever yes came from.
Yeah, who was that?
I don't know, but I love it.
I didn't even see this. I'm afraid I'll forget something.
I'm not. I got no idea.
This is the only thing I think is worth keeping my card.
You do, yeah. Always giving us this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're sweet. Yeah. Give us a few minutes. No way. Give us a few minutes.
Mr. President, whenever you're ready.
Shall we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, good evening to everyone, and on behalf of our entire board, welcome to our MSD Pike Township regular school board meeting, January 22nd, 2026. At this time, if there's anyone that wants to step up and speak for the good of the cause, you have 3 minutes. You may feel free to do so at this time. State your name, and you may speak.
Hello, board. My name is Kaden Price, and I'm here with the Scouts BSA Troop 227, and I'm here to talk about my Eagle Project. I'm a senior at Pike High School, and I'm an alumni from Fishback Creek Public Academy. I recently completed my Eagle Project, which consisted of rebuilding planting beds at the outdoor lab at Fishback. Once I complete my Eagle Scout requirements, I will be the first female Eagle Scout in Pike Township, so that's exciting. I would like to thank the board, Dr. Young, Dr. Steele, Ms. Nordy, and Mr. Gruber, the Director of Facilities, for approving and assisting me with my Eagle Project. I had over 72 man-hours of community service to Fishback. I would also like to take this time to thank the board and Dr. Young for allowing scouts from the Scouting America program to recruit from Pike Township schools every fall. Scouting America prepares young people to make ethical and moral choices over the lifetime by building character, leadership, and fitness for lives of impact and purpose. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board, Superintendent, Cabinet. I'm Marty Hoofer, and as you know, I serve as the Secretary for the Pike Township Education Foundation. I'm here tonight because we are thrilled to see over $11,000 in donations on the agenda tonight. This includes $4,199 in classroom grants and over $7,000 given for specific district needs. Numbers tell one story, and our teachers tell another great story. In Christy Gordon's classroom, which you see on your list tonight, these funds are supporting our kindergarten learners as they are, quote, caught doing good. And at the high school, we are funding Katie Martin's grant to provide glasses for students, removing a very real physical barrier to learning and ensuring that they can clearly see. As we continue to have an unprecedented number of grant requests from the staff, our need for resources continues to grow. Our main fundraising event is Treasures for Education, and that is happening on Saturday, March 7th. We need the support of everyone in the room and watching online through attendance and through auction bids, both in person and online. The more we raise, the more we can give away to the students of Pike Township, which is my absolute favorite thing to do. So please visit our website to get involved. The website is pike-ef.org. Thank you.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Tony Johnson. I'm the founder of Word Up Tutoring. It's a platform. It's online. It's for families K through 8. We are offering 30-day free sponsorships. It is academic, online, step-by-step guided support. I wanted to create this platform to help parents outside of school hours, just give them an additional resource and tool. We're not trying to replace the teachers, but we do want to ensure that our kiddos are getting the help that they need outside of school. So I wanted to share that information. You can log on at www.worduptutoring.com, and if you go to student sign up and fill out the information, you can get 30 days free access. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No one else, then we move on to Spotlight on Pike. Sarah Dorsey.
Good evening. It's wonderful to see you all. As always, we have a lot of wonderful things going on in Pike, so I'm just going to hit a couple highlights. We're excited to share that 3 of our Pike High School wrestlers, Ayomidi Dada, Nathaniel Anderson, and Serene NDIA, I'm sorry, I wanted to say that right, so let me slow down, won the MIC championships for their respective weight classes last weekend. If you're following Pike Wrestling this year, they are doing amazing. So we want to congratulate them. They've had several individual and team wins. They celebrated senior night for the boys last week, and we just wish them luck with the rest of the season. In addition, we want to share that Miss Alexis Warren, who teaches science at the Pike Preparatory Academy, was selected to receive a highly competitive Lilly Endowment Incorporated Teacher Creativity Grant for her project, which is titled Reflections of Renewal, Conservation, Family and Global Perspectives. And she's going to use her funding, which can be up to $15,000, to explore the Great Barrier Reef, hike national parks, engage in coral conservation, and learn from Aboriginal traditions while traveling in Australia. We're going to highlight that in tomorrow's Pike Proud communication, and it also has information about how she plans to utilize that to benefit our students at Pike Preparatory Academy. Last but never least, we'd like to acknowledge the generous donors listed on this evening's agenda. One Fellowship Church donated 20 boxes of hygiene items valued at $1,800 for families in need at Snack Crossing Elementary School. The Pike Township Educational Foundation, as Mrs. Hooper mentioned, funded 6 grants totaling $4,199 to support classroom projects at Fishback, Central, New Augusta South, and Pike High School. They also donated $3,040 to Pike High School's robotics team. Wise Incorporated donated $297.50 to fund field trips and substitute costs for Pike High School. And we're extremely excited to just briefly share the story behind the other donation listed. Last year, we began inviting faith leaders with connections to families in Pike to collaborate with us in an effort to identify areas where we can work together to enhance our support for the community we serve. When we met this November, a portion of our conversation pertained to identifying existing and potential challenges. During that time, Dr. Young provided the group with a brief update regarding the state cuts to CCDF voucher funding, which, as you know, has had just a widespread impact on preschools and child care providers across the state. Our meeting attendees immediately inquired how the funding cuts would affect Pike families, what the impact would be, and if it would be possible for them to help if they were able. As a result of that conversation, this evening you'll be asked to approve a generous donation of $3,971 from Solid Word Bible Church to cover CCDF funding shortage for families in our Loving Care program at Guyan Creek Elementary School for this semester. So we're extremely proud and grateful for their support and hope that that is a blessing to our families. Last but not least, I want to borrow a phrase that I've heard our president, Pastor Webster, use that I really like, and I'm probably going to paraphrase, but I'm going to apologize and ask you to blame my head and not my heart for failing to acknowledge our donors from last week. I knew it was coming with our Above and Beyond, and I was definitely a little bit hijacked in my emotions rather than my head. So we want to acknowledge Chartwell K-12's donation of nutritional drinks and shakes valued at $81,000 to support our Pike sports programs. Yes. Also, Carolyn Care Incorporated's donation of $200 to purchase snacks for one of our life skills classrooms at Snacks Crossing, W.C. Preston's donation of $50 to our Red Zone Food Pantry, and the Pike Township Educational Foundation's donation of $816 to support a classroom grant at Guyan Creek Middle School. We sincerely appreciate all of the businesses, organizations, and individuals who choose to share their time, talent, and treasure with our students and educators.
All right, thank you, Ms. Dorsey. Reports to the board, Alumni Excellence, Dr. Young.
Thank you, and good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. This month, as we recognize our Alumni Excellence recipient, I'm really excited this evening to recognize someone that has a very unique story and is also one of our more recent graduates. His name is Zach Smith.
My name is Zach Smith. I graduated from Pike in 2020. After I graduated there, I went to the University of Indianapolis to play soccer there and majored in exercise science. I ended up graduating early, just wasn't enjoying soccer as a player as much as I thought I would. Wanted to get my career started, so I was able to graduate undergrad a little bit early, and I got an offer to be a GA with the team as a kind of dual sports scientist and team manager, you'd say. So I was doing all the tests like laundry, film, but then also got to do some cool things that were aligned with my career goals, and then got to do an accelerated master's program while I was there. I went out to do my internship at Sporting Kansas City. Really enjoyed it, but discovered that I loved working with data and kind of like being a little bit more in the background than a performance coach. That's where my focus kind of shifted, and this really unique position popped up at the University of Florida. My title is Data Management Analyst, which has evolved a lot, but essentially I get to sit at the intersection of artificial intelligence and college athletics. And our main goal in our project called AI Powered Athletics is to create this big database. So anything from performance data that's collected on the field or the weight room to medical data, and then also academic data. It's really the first time that this has ever been created to look at the holistic view of a student athlete. Sometimes it's really just performance driven, but we want to make sure that all aspects of the student athlete are encompassed in our database so that we can empower large-scale research that uses all of that data. An ideal day for me involves a lot of interaction with people. I love working with people, so talking with coaches, translating that to researchers or to our back end. So the strength coaches that are in charge of like making them faster, stronger, more explosive, we kind of support the coaches in that sense by providing them with easy access to data because they do routine testing so that they can take that information a little more easily and see where the athlete is at, whether they need more rest, more training, more of a specific type of training. We are a little bit more on the back end, just kind of providing a service, almost like a third party, to help them organize the data and draw some insights out of it. Yeah, so the exercise science class that Mr. All taught, being able to go through that class and the questions that he would ask alongside playing a sport was really cool for me because he would be asking questions to us that directly related to how we felt in practice. He was really easily able to connect our athletic experience to the class and saying, how did you feel? Why did you feel that way? Why did your body respond that way? And I think that just made it come to life a lot more for me. That's where my interest probably came from the most because they were asking questions about things that directly pertain to my life right then. But one of the many things that Pike offers is a great environment to learn and to connect with different people. And it's directly played out in my career. In the job that I have right now, I work with a lot of different occupations and a lot of people from different backgrounds, people that operate differently, communicate differently. And growing up in Pike, you're just immersed in it. And it's not something that you realize in the moment, that you are learning about other cultures, other age groups, it's just kind of something that happens. But I haven't appreciated it until you get out of high school. But Pike really prepared me for that.
Zach he's out of state, so he could not be here, but I think he's just one more example of what Pike graduates in their respective professions are out there doing. So we were glad to highlight him. Thank you.
All right, Doc, I think you're up next, so you can stay there, you and Mr. Kerry Manders.
Yeah, come on up.
Reports to the board.
Thank you. And I know that here in a second, I'll turn over and let Mr. Manders introduce the other presenters that might be here with him. But we had an opportunity to talk a few months ago, and they have some really innovative ideas for the Crooked Creek area that we kind of share between Pike and Washington Township. So much so that I really wanted him to come and present to the board so that you all could hear directly from him and from his team on what some of those ideas are. I think ultimately they would love to have support from the district, but I told them, hey, I need you to come and share information with the board and see what questions they may have, and we'll go from there. So with that, I'm excited to turn it over to Mr. Manners.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you, President of the Board and the Board for having me tonight. I'm here with a couple of my colleagues, Colleen Heater, who is our grant writer, Wendy Noble, board member, Wendy Camp Manders, my wife and board member, and Richard Sleepy Floyd, our board chair. My mission for the past 30 years has been to improve the quality of life in the Crooked Creek community, which is the western part of Washington Township and the eastern part of Pike Township. My neighborhood actually is split in the middle between Washington and Pike. My website, kmmfoundationindy.org, provides an overview of my past work. I began the Crooked Creek Cultural Campus project with a vision and 3 overarching goals. 1, to attract youth to engage in activities that will provide opportunities for fun, creative, and inspirational participation that promotes critical thinking skills, developing productive, engaged citizens. 2, to provide opportunities for intergenerational community building, which since COVID has kind of just disappeared and needs to be really rebuilt. 3, to create an economic engine that will provide needed commercial development, services, and employment opportunities for this underserved area. Excuse me. Joan Servas donated 3.5 acres of woods near the corner of 62nd and Michigan Road for this cultural campus project. Those woods will be maintained for tree identification and environmental science to be conducted by Indy Parks. A visioning committee was formed after the purchase of the property, or the donation of the property, to shape and define my vision over an 18-month period with educators, artists, musicians, area residents, clergy, theater experts, and others. We commissioned a facility feasibility study conducted by IFF supporting the project. We are now purchasing 4.5 acres to the west of the woods to develop a 15,000 square foot building with a 200-seat theater, and we'll also have an outdoor venue. The Vision Committee envisioned a facility that would have coffee hours to exchange community concerns and issues, collaborating with the library for family game nights, book clubs, financial and writing literacy classes, intergenerational movie nights, to have kids work with professional comic book artists to create their own art, their own characters, their own storylines, exposure to puppetry, an educational recording studio so they can learn each side of the microphone, both the technical part of it as well as the performance part of it. Theater craft, improv theater, and the traditional arts, all transferable skills providing critical thinking capabilities that kids and adults can engage in and learn from. Our goal is to add to and enhance existing opportunities in our community, not duplicate services that already exist. We've had early discussions with the Public Library, Indy Parks, IU Heron School of Art and Design, Brownhound Studios, Actors Theater of Indiana, Arts with a Purpose, area private schools, and Washington Township School District, and others seeking collaboration. Now we're inviting Pike Township School District to join in our collaboration with the Crooked Creek Cultural Campus. I'd like to introduce again Sleepy, who is going to proceed with the presentation.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, board. Good evening.
Good evening.
Just to just elaborate on what Carrie was discussing, we hope that this becomes truly a community space that's also driving the arts in the district and the surrounding areas. You know, the intention is to unify intergenerationally with across generations, across art disciplines, and just create a unifying hub for the area, the Crooked Creek area, which, as Carrie mentioned, serves both districts, Washington and Pike Township. And me being a Pike Township resident for a better part of 15 years is very near and dear to me. I'm also a community organizer myself. I'm a professional musician, and I'm also adjunct faculty at the University of Indianapolis, where I teach in the School of Music. And so I spend the great majority of my days educating youth through arts and advocating for arts in schools. There's approximately, by my estimation, on the short end, about 48 schools within the 465 loop that do not have arts and music programs. And so for me, as a professional musician in the arts actively, it's very important to me for many reasons. The main reason is the legacy aspect of the arts. And we all have been a part of studies that have shown how arts benefit, learning. They benefit recidivism, outcomes in general across the board. And so I've really prioritized that in more of my latter years as I've gotten these grades and things, and have traveled the world playing music, to bring those ideas back home and to really prioritize the future. And so this is a big part of that legacy. And so real briefly, I'll just run through a few slides. So we're saying that it's designed to serve students, families, the educators, and neighbors alike. So we'll have a host of programmings, neighborhood concerts, evening interactions, arts and music workshops during the day, performance guilds, just anything you can conceptualize. We hope to attain that through this space. Then again, the area is an 8-acre site at the corner of Michigan Road and 62nd Street. So it's really kind of that, it'll be that connector between the two districts. Again, and here's the kind of the markups of what we are envisioning, where there's a great use of the greenery spaces, and we intend to use all of it for just great community activities and events. We'll have the youth workshops and plenty of creative enrichment activities designed to just stimulate growth. And then, as I've seen as an educator, career pathways is a big prioritization for the youth of Indianapolis. A lot of them, when they get to that age, they're ready to hit the workforce. And my philosophy behind that is that if we can teach them attainable and sustainable skills at a younger age, the younger we get them, the more likely they are to achieve, great success as they move through life. And so this place would serve as a hub for that mindset of just career advancement and career pathways. So just a rough timeline. This year is spent, speaking to board members and institutions, and just garnering general support and information as it relates to the project. With anticipation of breaking ground next year. And so we really just wanted to just get in front of the board and just let you all know that we share the same commitment of just making sure that our students have, immense opportunities and creativity and expanded learning opportunities that would just, enhance the quality of life for all the citizens of the district, but most importantly, the youth of this district and this area. So thank you so much for your time. I'm here to answer any questions. I could turn it over to Carrie. We can.
If you have any questions, I'm glad we have them as well.
I have a couple of questions. Mr. Manders, I wondered what happened with this program. I think maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at St. Monica, you spoke about this program. I think yes. Joanne Franklin was there. Last year, okay, yeah. Last year. And I was there. And I thought this idea was a phenomenal idea. I didn't know what had happened to it, but now that I see that you still have that ball rolling.
Oh yes.
What does the relationship with the school district look like? Can you speak a little bit how that between us and you guys will it be something that the students can utilize in the summertime or?
Sure. Well, again, we're flexible. What we want to do is have a discussion to see where the collaboration works for us. But I'm envisioning that the school would have field trips there. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll have Indy Parks doing tree identification, environmental science in the 3.5 acres of woods. So that there'll be opportunity for field trips as well as for artistic ability or artistic opportunity to come out for field trips. The house that's existing on the property is going to be moved. We're going to use that for the dirty arts, ceramics and those types of arts. And then the new building will be for the fine arts, the clean, that have to have a clean, fine environment. So we're really looking at having a space that can be really used and productive use in the community. With a 200-seat venue, we understand there's no 200-seat venues in the city, and that there's a niche that needs to be met, and so we're here to meet that niche. As far as the relationship with the school, your community is who we want to serve, so we need to reach out to them and let them know what's happening. You mentioned that it's been a slow rollout. It's been a slow rollout because this is a grassroots project that we've been building over a couple of years, actually about 3 years now with all the visioning committee and all. So we want a relationship where the Pike community will support the project to bring it to fruition, but also be among the participants and beneficiaries of the project.
I'm impressed because the passion is consistent. Just as now that you have other people with you, it was just you by yourself, and now I get a better idea of what that looks like. I'm excited for that.
Thank you very much.
To see, and hopefully that we can have a collaboration. Outside of that, it looked like on one of your pictures here that do you butt up against I think it's a pumpkin patch or
at the very northern edge touches the blueberry farm.
Yeah, the blueberry farm.
farm.
So,
and we've actually talked to them about possibly having a relationship for catering. We're going to have a caterer's kitchen, and we want to have local activity. I mean, one of the benefits of this is to generate activity in the community, economic activity. So we want to bring them in as well.
Okay, that's why I wanted to. I like to hear that you said that because we send our children there to collect pumpkins sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I'm impressed. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for your interest. And I do have to say, give Colleen credit. She was with me as well at St. Monica's.
Okay.
I was going to add in from a programmatic standpoint how we could serve. Going back to your original question, how we see it envisioning serving the students. Right away, there would be after school activities like what I see immediately. Upon opening is an after-school program that would service kids from those after-school hours from the 3 to 7 window. So a great deal of our activities within any art discipline will be built around that particular block of time daily. And so right away, that's one of the first program ideas I would love to see happen right away. So that's a prioritization for us.
So this will be classified as STEM.
It will be more STEAM, sir. Add the A.
Arts.
Yes. add a big A in the middle. But yes, absolutely. And that's the beauty of where arts are moving. I mean, we live more in the music tech space now. So now we have to. There's a greater prioritization through my organization, Inspire Music Collective, which is an organization that serves youth through the music technology. Shifting from a more classical training and from a musical perspective to more of a technical perspective. That does two things. It doesn't require you to have studied an instrument for 5 to 10 years. It also breaks down economic barriers that says that you cannot afford, if you can't afford private instruction, most kids that look like me don't have access to cellos or violins right away, and so that breaks down those economic barriers, but they may have a laptop or an iPad where I could teach them how in 20 minutes how to make a beat, or instead of saying, hey, you want to be a rapper, like that's like wanting to go to the NBA, but if you want to be a producer, that's very practical, and you can immediately start making money with a year or less of training. And so we're going to look to tap into the technology piece along with the classical training, but then also infuse the real world practicality of where we are as a society where technology is driving almost everything. Like our alumni spotlight here, that he got a job just specifically to work in AI and athletics. That's something that is on the cutting edge, and it's the same thing happening on the artistic side. So just wanted to elaborate on that.
So I got a question too. So, well, first of all, you listed all the stuff you do. You are a very busy man for
Yes,
somebody
sir.
the nickname Sleepy.
Yes, you got that right. You got that right. A stable coffee.
I love the merging of technology with the arts, like you
Yes,
said.
sir.
The idea of so much music now. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it is being made with technology. So,
Absolutely.
one question is the idea you kind of hook them with that, and then even go back and have some instrument education also.
Absolutely.
And then also I was thinking, we go occasionally over to like Footlight and see plays and things. Is that something that you're envisioning coming to Pike? Things
Absolutely.
like that as well?
Absolutely. Having a theater company similar to Footlight that has a small footprint in that neighborhood primarily, that's a great example. But yes, to your point, absolutely. And yes, the reverse engineering, like from what I've seen with my teaching, and I've worked with kids that have no musical ability, and some of them are like, almost superstars in the making as producers, because the auditory element of it, just hearing things, it allows that syntax to escape. And so once you have that, regardless of your musical acumen, you're able to live your best life, so to speak, because you're able to get your ideas out, whether they be drawing a picture or, making a beat. And so, yes, I've seen like the reverse engineering happen where someone latches on to something significant and then they want to know all the backstory about it. It happens to me as a jazz musician when I'm teaching kids about Miles or Wes Montgomery, and when I tell them like, hey, Wes Montgomery lived around the corner here, they're like, what? And so they just go in this deep dive. YouTube is their catalyst. We run our kids from YouTube a lot from things that they don't want to see, but if they find something they're really interested in, they'll go and do like deep dive research. And so I'm seeing that every day.
I love that. Maybe you guys will have the next Rick Rubin come out of there. Can't
Yes,
play an
sir.
instrument and
Yes,
make
sir.
the Beatles documentary. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Also, to answer your question in a little different way, we're working with Indiana Actors Theater of Indiana, and they're up by Civic Theater, and Civic Theater has a very vibrant educational program, and they don't want to compete with them. They want to partner with us and bring stagecraft to our community so you can learn not only how to be an actor, but how to be a producer or a stage manager or those stagecraft positions.
Okay. I really love your idea. One, this is the neighborhood where I grew up. So I'm super familiar about exactly where you're talking about.
Have you seen our signs?
I have not. Well, that's where I grew up, but that's not
That's
where I
okay.
live now. But it's okay.
Keep an eye out for them.
Definitely. And plus, I'm a teacher from the arts. So I'm totally embracing everything that you're saying. And I'm excited that this resource is going to be available for our community. I really like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, unless there are any more questions.
No, we're done.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. All right, thank you so much. We're on to board finances. Mr. Monet Gray.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. Per Indiana Code IC 5-13-7-5 through 7, the Board of Finance is required to reorganize annually in January. Typically, the board president and the board secretary also serve in those same roles for the Board of Finance. In your packet this evening, you'll find two documents. First, the written report assessing financial condition, which uses the Distressed Unit Appeal Board, or DUAB, annual financial indicators. Second, the annual investment report. The written report assessing financial condition includes both the required DUAB charts and a narrative explanation to provide you additional context and clarity around the district's financial condition. If you have any questions as you review the report, please feel free to reach out to me. Next, the 2025 investment report. All district investments are made in full compliance with Indiana Statute IC 5-13. In addition, interlocal government cooperatives such as the Hoosier Fund are permitted under IC 36-1-7. The district uses a layered investment strategy, which each layer is based on liquidity, meaning how quickly the funds can be accessed when needed. The first and most liquid layer that we have is our Huntington operating account, which represents our cash on hand. As of January 1st, the interest rate on this account was 2.50%. The next level of liquidity is the Hoosier Fund, which is a statewide investment pool through an interlocal agreement. This is considered a short to medium-term investment while still remaining very liquid. This rate can fluctuate throughout the year, and it ended 2025 at approximately 4%, down from 4.8% in 2024. The next level in our liquidity structure are the certificates of deposit. These are time deposits and are considered medium to longer term investments. We work with Baker Tilly through a competitive bid process which provides us access to CD rates across roughly 3,000 banks and savings institutions. We evaluate and project our cash needs and then select CD terms such as 3, 6, 9, 12 months or longer based on these projections. This strategy is often referred to as a laddered approach, which investments are set to mature in phases and allows us access to funds as needed without locking them all up. This concludes the Board of Finance report. Mr. President, I will return the meeting over to you.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the board?
If I may, Mr. President.
Yes, Dr. Moore.
My concern, and Ms. Gray, is the idea of last year with SB 1. Now in January, SB 1 came into fruition, property tax issue. There are three dynamics financially that could affect us. The first one is going to be $850,000. The second one will probably be $58,000. The last one will be somewhere about $134,000. My question is, in that context, are we are we going to be okay with that particular cut that is being impressed on all educational institutions? Are we going to be all right? We don't have any layoffs coming or cutting anybody back or anything of that nature. I just think people need to know that. That might not be interesting to a lot of other people, but that's going to affect a lot of programs in our school, possibly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of those dollars, just to jump in, will fall sort of on our operation side. And, you know, every week from Cabinet, we talk about savings and opportunities that won't be felt in the classroom.
Yeah.
And always keeping staff is a priority. Based on our current projections, you know, cuts and layoffs aren't things that, you know, we are currently considering. I think if things continue to go the way they are, you know, we'd always look through attrition primarily, right? When people leave, there may be opportunities and positions not to maybe fill those positions, but under the current projections with the biennial that we're in, there's no intentions on any sort of cuts, and I think the service we can provide the children will stay at the level it is.
There's almost 1.9 million, a little bit over that in those 3 years that are going to affect us, and we're just concerned about our faculty, our staff, and our programs.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to maintain those particular situations?
And also, great question, Dr. Moore. And also, we're going to have Barry Garner with policy analytics, and so he'll be.
That's in March.
In March. So in March, we'll get an opportunity. Mr. Garner will come and kind of really dive pretty deep into the impacts, share specific numbers, you know, potential levers and all those things that we can.
So we're not anticipating any staff cuts. I think that needs to be openly said.
No.
And that's okay.
No.
Good, because you know that's a lot of money that is going to be retracted from us.
It is, and I would give credit to these people right here on the front second row. Without any ask of me, they are constantly looking at programs that are underutilized or ineffective, and where we can keep a high level of service to our students and families but yet make cuts and reduce in costs so that it's not felt.
Yeah. Okay. Secondly, if I may, I saw the referendum piece in here. Has our resources hit our accounts yet? They come out in December?
We got them in December.
Thank you so very much.
We did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Just one comment. I heard that you said that in March, they were going to come in and do, is that going to be a work session or a presentation?
Be a presentation, board meeting presentation.
Board meeting presentation?
Yes,
Okay.
and policy analytics, they've actually modeled out, just to piggyback on
Go
Dr.
ahead.
Young said, they've modeled out until 2030, just the impact of the bill and how it's going to affect Pike Township. And they actually complimented us on our financial health because we're in a great position compared to some of the other districts and the impact. But they'll elaborate on that more when they come in March.
But could I also interject this? What I'm hearing in Hamilton County and other counties, that people are going to be going back to referendum ideology because of this particular situation. And is it possible for us to know where we're going with referendum as it relates to during the course of the year? What are the items? We know we have those three buckets, those bucket areas we work in. Are we going to continue to work in those bucket areas? Or are we going to move in other areas that fall in the realm of the referendum?
And I think we're kind of limited on those areas because of what we share with the community before they voted. So we'll stay in those areas. One of the big things that impacts that, obviously, is the assessed value. Pike Township's assessed value went up. And what was crazy, if you look at a map all over the state of Indiana, it was touch and go. Some communities' assessed value went down, some went up. We benefited from an increase. But I think one of the things that we're hearing and what we believe is that won't be the case moving forward. Okay. So those are some things. If your house costs more, you're going to pay more taxes.
Well, most definitely.
We collect more. But if your house costs less, then that's less money we're going to collect through, the referendum process. So there's a lot of unknown. To your point, I think we'll probably get to some of that even in March.
And my question is basically, and I don't, excuse me, Mr. President, I don't mean to take a.
No, go ahead.
My concern is, I just want, if we have to do referendum again, that the community will understand it, and that we need to do it. And so I'm asking that there would be better communication about the referendum during the course of the year. I know you have certain designated months that you want to report on that, but I think if you could reassess that particular discipline towards referendum, because if we have to go back, or whoever's on the board at that particular time have to go back for referendum, we want the community to feel good about coming to make that happen again for us, because they were very nice the first time. We had some percentages there, but I'm just hoping that we can communicate much better with the community about referendum, because it's their tax dollars, and they need to know in case we have to go that area again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Gray. We're on to action items. First up is minutes of our Board of Education reorganization meeting. Motion is ordered to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of our board meeting on January 8th, 2026.
Second.
Moved and second that we approve our previous board meeting, January 8th, 2026. Are there any questions? No questions. We want to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next up is approval of our academic calendar. Dr. Maggie Bishop.
Good evening, Mr. President,
Good
members
evening.
of the board, and Dr. Young. This evening, I seek your approval of action item B, approval of academic calendars for 26-27, 27-28, and 28-29 as presented.
Make a motion that we approve the academic calendar for 2026-27, 2027-28, 2028-29.
Second?
Been moved and second that we approve action item B, our academic calendar. Are there any questions?
I do have a question. So my understanding is this is approving pending the approval from downtown of the exception that we
Yes.
need, correct?
Yes, the 1003 flexibility waiver was submitted in December. The Indiana Department of Education shared with us that they would not be approving flexibility waivers at their January meeting because they are now meeting every other month. That means those approvals will come at their meeting on March 4th. If worst case scenario, they didn't approve those two, it would just affect October 9th and January 4th. It would not affect the other days, the start date, the breaks, the end date. So it really just affects two particular days in the calendar for the next 3 years.
Okay. So I know one of the reasons we want to go ahead and vote was for transparency. People have been asking, I've been getting emails from people about it. So will we now go ahead and post these online so people can see them with that
exactly
caveat or whatever language
You
we
hit
need
the
to
nail
put
on the
around
head.
it?
We would
Okay.
post it online. We would
Yes.
make sure that it would be clearly stated online that this is still pending, but
Subject-
we want to get it out there
Subject to
so that
change.
people can start making
Yes.
plans.
Okay.
We
Subject
have,
to approval.
Subject to
yes,
approval.
we have the template ready for the website that will roll first thing in the morning. We'll also share that information with our district-wide with our staff, making it very clear that we still need approval on these 2 days. But as you all know, you're receiving questions about that. But in working with Dr. Young, we wanted to make sure we tried to share this information as soon as possible, but also knowing that it really is just 2 days that are up to play, and when we've got plans if in fact something came up that pertaining to those 2 specific days.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, we're on the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Bishop.
you.
Okay, we're on to human resource, Dr. Hunter. Action item C.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board,
Good
Dr.
evening.
Young. I request your approval of the HR report as presented.
I move that we approve the human resources report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we approve our HR report as presented. Due to the confidentiality of our human resource report, we're on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We're also have action item D, supplemental board report, Dr. Justin Hunter.
Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young, I request your approval of the supplemental report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved in second that we approve our action item D, supplemental report as presented. Likewise, we're on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Dr. Hunter.
Thank you, sir.
Action item E, request for revised cost. Dr. Alicia Gatewood.
Good evening, Mr. President,
Good
members
evening.
of the board, and Dr. Young. I am requesting the approval of action item E, the request for revised cost for the English Language Arts grades 6 through 8 textbook adoption.
I move we approve the request for a revised cost for the ELA grades 6 through 8 textbook adoption as presented.
Second.
Been moved in second that we approve action item E as presented by Dr. Alicia Gatewood. Are there any questions?
How much was the increase? That was one thing I didn't see or.
$40,839.53.
Okay.
I don't have a question per se. Thank you. There were some of us that did have questions and we were emailing and we got responses very quickly. I appreciate that. Of course. Even when it was after you were supposed to be looking at your computer, but
I'd also like to state that if you would, to share with the public why the increase, because
Right.
that could be a concern to anyone who doesn't have the information that we have.
Absolutely. The cause for increase was actually twofold. We actually have an increase in student enrollment, so we have more students, so we need to make sure that they have books. And then also publishing costs went up in 2026.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
All right, any other questions, statement, comments? If not, we're on to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Dr. Gatewood.
Thank you.
And we have next up Mrs. Monet Gray for action items F, G, H, and I.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. I request your approval of action items F, G, H, and I as presented.
I move that we approve action items F, G, H, and I as presented.
Second.
Moved in second that we accept and approve action items F, G, H, and I as presented. Are there any questions on F, G, H, or I? No questions. We hear none. We are on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed. Thank you. Now we're on to board member items. Dr. Moore.
I have nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Mrs. Wilson.
Nothing other than, I noticed there's a bunch of young people here, then they stayed through this whole thing. I take my hat off to you. Thank you.
You're not going to talk about IU?
Oh, wait a minute. all you Purdue fans. IU.
I knew you had some.
I was going to wear it, but I thought, nah.
They had to rub it in.
What a game.
That's all right.
All right.
Well, don't forget about the girls. Can I tell you about those girls?
Yes, go ahead.
Talk about poetry in motion. If you want to see poetry in motion, come watch the girls' basketball team. They have a game tomorrow against Carmel. You will not be disappointed at all. They're very disciplined. They get the highest ratings from the referees because of their discipline and how they are very sportsmanlike. And Miss Bishop's daughter, she's a beast on the ball.
Mr. Hoofer.
All right, well, as a Purdue guy, I won't make all the jokes I want to make about the IU.
Oh, you're a
thing.
Purdue guy. He didn't tell us it's an exec session.
You can't.
Anyway, all right, so it was already mentioned tonight about treasures, but I just wanted to, our table is full for treasures, so I wanted to challenge the other board members to also see if you could fill up a table at the treasures event, and because, like I said, all the money that they put in towards Pike, it really does, it helps, it's needed, it's a must, and so we really appreciate everything that they do. I did want to remind everybody, we had the good conversation earlier about the impacts of the taxes and everything with the finances. This is a short session downtown, but they're still trying to do big things. One of the bills, I think it is still out there, I haven't heard of it getting shut down, is a proposal to eliminate property taxes, which would have clearly a huge impact. I don't see a world where that passes, but I don't see a world where a lot of things that go on today happens. So if you like public schools, I would encourage you to call downtown, talk to your representatives downtown, and let them know how you feel that you want to continue to support public schools. With that in mind, I'm glad Miss Dorsey pointed out the name of the church. I wasn't sure if they were remaining anonymous or not, but I did want to also personally thank Solid Word. They do a ton of things for the Guyan Creek Middle and Elementary School all the time, and just having them step in to fill the gap where our representatives downtown are failing our students. I appreciate seeing the faith community do that. I've talked to some other churches. I think there are more folks. We're going to see more of that in that community from that the faith leaders that have been put together. And so just I like seeing people actually represent loving their neighbor instead of just talking about it and then doing the opposite.
Thank you, Mr. Hoover. Mr. Anderson.
I would just like to also get another recognition for the Boy Scout troop for being here. I appreciate you being the first female to accomplish that your accomplishment there and your goal. It's good to see Ms. Hott back there. Good to see you here as well. Also appreciate about the online, the after school tutoring service. My daughter, she's benefited through the years from different services, so I know other kids will be able to benefit from that as well. And I'm also really excited about what Mr. Amanda came through about the new possible the theater that we're going to have. That is such a huge deal. I know a lot of us didn't get a chance to go over to St. Monica when they had a big presentation there, but it left a lasting impression on me, and he still has the same passion. Which Mr. Sleepy, I forget the rest of his name, but he kind of brought it home for me even more. So I really look forward, and I hope that we can have a collaboration with that project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson. Mrs. Barnes?
First, I'd like to congratulate Ms. Price on your accomplishment. I'm a former scout as well, but to have a female Eagle Scout that I get to live to meet and to see is pretty exciting. So congratulations. Yesterday, I represented the board at our district wellness council meeting led by Mr. Jacob. Chartwells received the Innovative School Lunch Makeover Award and the Innovation in the Preparation of School Meals Award for their work feeding our Pike children. Our school nurses held a successful immunization clinic for our students, and they administered flu shots to our staff. I was also able to hear how Reach for Youth will provide mental health services not only for our students but also for their families. So they offer more of a wraparound service for our children, and that was something we voted on during our last school board meeting. So I was able to get some kind of in really good details about that program. And also our assistant principals are currently working on their applications for America's Healthiest Schools Award. And I think we're gonna do really well this year, just like we did last year, probably even a little better. And lastly, board members, we are invited to greet our community at the 3rd annual Mental Health Fair on Thursday, March the 12th, from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's right before our board meeting the same evening. That's at Pike High School. And earlier that day, Mr. Gary Sales and Daryl Flash Gordon will be speaking during the Sports Mental Health Summit for our juniors and seniors at Pike High School. And I don't know if you remember last year, we were kind of concerned about the attendance. That activity is moved into the school day this time, and our juniors and seniors will be participating. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kelly.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Super excited for having an Eagle Scout with us. That is awesome. Many scouts do not finish that accomplishment. And so that is awesome. Again, the Pike Foundation, thank you for all you do. The amount of money that has been donated to the classrooms and back to our students is awesome. Our other donors, the list the last 2 weeks has been impressive. We've had so many donations from the community. Again, we've been really kind of emphasizing getting our relationship, this district's relationship with the community solid and keeping it to where they know we're a part of this community and the community is a part of us, and we want to continue that. Again, I want to echo Treasures again, because that's where the money is raised by the foundation. So all of us that can support attending Treasures, that would be awesome. And just the good information that we got about things that are going on in our community and being involved. And if you're able to help and be a part of that, even better. So
thank you, Ms. Kelly. Dr. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. January is National School Board Member Appreciation Month. And we just want to, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of many people in our community, just want to thank each and every one of you. I also want to recognize and thank Chartwells for helping us just pull together a small token of our appreciation for everything that you all do, and we're better because of it, so thank you.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
Again, I certainly appreciate all the board members and the value that you bring to the board, and we look forward to a great year. We do have a school board retreat coming up 31st, I believe. And so we look forward to planning and talking about our path forward. I want to say a shout out to Mr. Keith Hollins, our girls coach, and Jeff Teague and his staff. If you were not at Southport game the game last week against Lawrence North, it was a barn burner. We had a really good opportunity there. We lost one of our boys. Is that student back? I don't know. Is that student back? Anybody know?
I'm not sure. If he's
Okay,
back. Is he? Okay, Dr. Bishop is nodding. Yes, he believes. Yes.
Okay, one of our students got hurt, and they had to pull him out the game, and I think that contributed to that game.
Second half coming.
Yeah, Lawrence off a little edge. But tomorrow night, our boys do play in Carmel, and our girls play here, and so we just I'm excited because we have a chance. I think if we just get some good grace, we really got a chance to be represented. Both boys and girls basketball at the end. We really look like we have a state team. We just hope that we can get there. All right, so we encourage the board to support our boys and girls basketball. Stay warm this weekend, and it's going to be cold and projected snow, so let's all make sure we do our best to stay warm. Nothing else? I'd like to entertain a motion to...
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
All right. Meeting adjourned. I need to sign it too.
I missed one place.